Chelsea. They're in crisis. We've got the league table up, as you can see there, and I'm going to scroll down now so you can see Chelsea. There they are in 14th. 14th in the league. Yes, they're 4 points above relegation, and they won't get relegated, in my opinion. But that is now 39 points in their last 38 games, which means they're tracking towards just about surviving in the Premier League again. It's 3 matches with no goals in the Premier League. And their run of fixtures is getting tougher and tougher and tougher. Tougher and tougher and tougher and tougher. They've got to go away to Fulham. Hard place to go. They also have to do that now without a right back, as Gusto was sent off. And for me, I believe a correct decision. He isn't completely lunging, but that is a leg breaker. That is a red card without a shadow of a doubt. I'm not saying there was intent, but the law doesn't state intent is needed. But they now go into a hard game away from home against Fulham. I think they're away to Burnley, and then they go on a run of fixtures that include Tottenham, Man United, Manchester City. I want to say Brentford, and it could be Newcastle in there as well. And this is a scary, sobering thought for the Chelsea fans. Yes, it's the beginning of the season. We shouldn't take the league table too seriously, because if you look at Man United, we've gone away to Spurs and away to Arsenal, and we've played Brighton. Some teams haven't even had that level of challenge yet, as an example. However, Chelsea have played some difficult teams. Arsenal played some difficult teams, and it equals itself out. However, the sobering factor for Chelsea fans is in 2 to 3 games, we're 25% of the way through the season. 25%. If you walk into that 25% mark on 5 or 6 points, you are going to struggle for the remainder of the season, because you're always going to be playing with the desperation to win. And no matter what sport you play, football, rugby, if you're a fighter, if you fight or play desperate, you leave that chin exposed and you get sparked out. They've got to find a way to turn this round. They are hurting these young kids by continuing to play them when they're not performing. And look, there'll be some good metrics today. I'm sure. I haven't looked at the stats breakdown. I was watching the game. But the last time I looked at the stats, I think it was half-time, and both teams had the same amount of shots. Same amount of shots on target. Chelsea probably had more of the ball up into the red card. They probably actually had more shots than Villa, maybe up into the red card or after. That was I was watching it about 60%. And there were some good moves from Chelsea, some good play from Chelsea. But they're eunuchs. They're eunuchs. They're eunuchs. They're not going to they don't penetrate. They're eunuchs. They stay flaccid. It is friend zone football. Puff on puff, and they can't blow the house down. All the graft, all the banter, all the chat, all the money spent. They don't even get a kiss on the cheek at the end of the night. And I feel sorry for Chelsea fans. I know a lot of rivals won't. A lot of rivals won't give a damn. They'll say, so what? You deserve it. They deserve it. Arrogant. Won it for years. Plastic club. I get it all. There's a lot of Chelsea fans that love this club, whether it's been for the last 20 years or the last 70, 80 years of their life. And they deserve better. And I really felt that Poch was going to be able to get the best out this young group. Something isn't right at the club right now. Again, I know they're young, but there are other squads that are in and around the same average age as them. Brighton's is pretty young. I know Arsenal's is young. There's quite a few young teams moving the ball better. Scoring goals. Genuinely. They're in bona fide trouble as things stand right now. They really, really are. Jamie here says, you can talk bad about Chelsea, but always turn a negative Arsenal result into a positive. Bro, Chelsea have got 39 points in their last 38 Premier League games. Comparing that to Arsenal dropping points in a North London derby, still having had an impeccable start to the season, started their Champions League campaign off on a high. You're comparing a piece of chalk with a piece of cheese. I'm being honest. Chelsea fans have to be honest here. I'm not saying they can't turn it around. I'm not saying you sack the manager right now, but serious questions have to be asked. And I think people like Don that go on like, we're okay, we're in a good position, it will be okay. I think you're burying your heads in the sand. You've got to challenge this. Don't abuse, but challenge. I'm going to start going to somebody's super chats now, people. Panel coming out very, very soon indeed. This here comes from Anthony, who's an Arsenal fan, says, we were shocking in the second half. Jorginho was horrible. I've got a timestamp when I've done this so people can see their super chats. People like to watch it back. Sorry. Georgie was horrible. We really missed Martinelli and Trossard. When Rice came off, our midfield couldn't hold the ball. Horrifying. I agree. 110%. You're bang on. The title race is over. Curtain closed on Arsenal's season. Being written off that early. What they have to top now? 4 points off the top, and you're writing them off. Interesting. The disrespect Spurs have been getting all week. Listen, go back and watch my preview. I do believe Arsenal are clear of them. Overall this season, I think Arsenal will finish significantly ahead of them. Somewhere between 5 to 10 points. But if you listen to what I've actually right now, they're in my top 4 Spurs. I think they've been brilliant. I really do. I don't think predicting Arsenal to win was disrespectful. And I know you're not attacking me. I think what Igao has done is upset them football gods again by saying it will be the easiest North London derby in the history of North London derbies. And when will man learn? Where is the arrogance now? Terry, send me the link, please. We'll definitely get that out later to you, bro. We'll get that done into the comments section. Arsenal riddled with injuries, a day of poor subs. Antonio, we talk on the field. Yeah, Antonio, man. Should have kept that mouth button, football gods. The Arsenal team ain't beating City to the title. It will be wrapped up by the end of January. But as I say, I predicted City to win the league this year. Don't want to be that guy, but these injuries are killing us. Timber, Partey, Rice, Martinelli, Trossard, plus maybe Saka. Spurs played well. Arsenal sloppy. Injuries do play a part. Listen, this is why rival fans just sometimes stop bantering and be normal. I tweeted last week, Man United had 12 players out the other day. 50% of what would be our starting 11 are out injured. And people are like, but you've not been good this year, have you? Yeah. Look what happened to Arsenal when they lose 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of their first team players. They drop off a little bit. And Arsenal are a better team than we are. It happens to everybody. Get these injuries, it hurts you. Unless it's as simple and straightforward as that. Pochettino, dead man walking, is what Kingsley says here. They're turning day by day by day. I told Arsenal they were cocky. Karma did his work, is what Honesty says. Arsenal riddled with injuries and poor subs, is what Oppa says. I'm not going to have the injury excuse for Arsenal. We also lost Johnson, Son, and Maddison. They needed a dodgy pen and an own goal. We cut them apart, is what Joshua says here. Listen, you did cut them apart at times. They cut you apart at times. As a neutral, Josh, mate, I loved it. I was actually gutted when it got to the last 10 minutes. I was like, come on, man. I could do with another hour of this game. It was amazing. Jorginho needs his contract shredded by the morning, is what Garrett says here. Wow. We've got injuries as well. Would have snapped their hands off for this 2 hours ago. No issue with the pen. Was more worried about that potential James Maddison ACL. Yeah, when his leg went back, it reminded me of Zlatan Ibrahimovic when he did it. And I was like, oh, poor lad. Imagine the ACL goes now. But he looks okay, to be fair. Well, he ran around, and you can't run around with no ACL. I don't know who's the next manager for Chelsea. Potch out in October is what Dyke says. I've got no idea who they would deploy. I've not got a thought on it.